Good evening. My name is Erica Hope Bohr, and I'm going to be talking to you tonight about marriage, a casualty of our society. My hope is that at the end of this speech, you will have a greater understanding of the importance of preserving traditional marriage. Now, the rate of marriages has increased, but the longevity of our marriages has decreased significantly. A lot of this has to do with the changing views and the ethics that we hold in our society today. The value of marriage and commitments in general, they're treated so lightheartedly that traditional marriage has become meaningless. Now, I've been working with different people with different family dynamics for almost 6 years now. A lot of those families, they have multiple children, and it's a single parent family. So it's a big problem. It's almost an epidemic, I guess you could say. Now, marriage. What is marriage? Marriage, by definition, is the union of one man and one woman coming together in a consensual and contractual relationship. It's something that's been ordained by God. This is the way it was intended to be. And it has many purposes, many benefits. One of those is that marriage is based upon the love, the practice of love, the way that Christ loved the church. Another is sexual unity. This is something that also has been intended within marriage, between one man, one woman, a husband and a wife within marriage, that this is intended. Another is that it's the best, healthiest environment in which we can raise our children. Now, my study Bible specifically, has 52 verses in which it references marriage specifically. And so by that, we can see that God stresses the importance of this commitment, not only during, but before. It's not something that we enter into lightly. He gives us clear instructions, and regardless of that, regardless of the Bible's long-standing history, the opposition is still taking a big foothold in our society. And some of this opposition that we see that's the most popular today is civil unions. Now, civil unions, they are a relationship that is between two of the same gender, two men, two women, and they come together, and it is recognized by law as a marriage. And the purpose of it is so that they can have the same benefits, be acknowledged as a legitimate couple under the law. They have the same responsibilities as a husband and a wife would in a traditional marriage. Now, Dr. James Dobson, he is very well known for his work with children and for families over a variety of issues. And in his article, "Should Homosexuality Be Accepted as a Healthy Lifestyle?" he addresses their stance as they believe that they were born this way. Well, as Christians, we know that we were born with a sin nature. So we have inclinations to do things that we know are not right, that we know that God would not approve of. And so acting upon that doesn't make it right. Just as if a homosexual believes that he's born with this, acting upon it does not make it right. Now, another opposition that we face, and you see this a lot in young people, it's the access that we have to marriage and divorce. A lot of young people go into marriage and they don't have realistic expectations. They don't have the proper counseling. They don't know what to expect. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to treat each other or to cooperate. They have self-serving reasons. And a lot of this, when they are married, they run into problems. They don't know how to solve them. So the easiest way to settle it is to divorce, just to simply be done. Now, with the rates of single-parent homes and divorce, as they increase, it's going to have an effect. And it affects the most vulnerable, and a lot of the times that is our children. As a mom and a dad, as a husband and wife, it is our job to protect our children, to teach them, to provide a stable environment in which they can learn and grow. And when a divorce occurs within this relationship, they suffer greatly, and it's in significant ways. Now, emotionally, children, Dr. Dobson, on another in another article, it's children on divorce, the effects of. There was a study he referenced. 90% of children from divorced homes, they suffer from acute sense of shock when the separation occurred, including profound grieving and irrational fears. Another finding is that 50% reported feelings of rejection and abandonment. Half of the fathers did not visit these children within 3 years after the divorce. I can imagine that has some pretty significant impacts on these children. And psychologically, they're not able to build that trust or to develop that trust to sustain healthy relationships in the future. So as you can see, our society, it's changing. It's not always in a negative way. It's sometimes for our benefit. But when we start changing our foundation, our principles, what's moral and ethical, we start to lose ourselves. We start to create something that we don't want, that we don't anticipate. And we're reaping instability and unethical and immoral practices for our children.